Welcome back, book nerds, to today's episode of the podcast. I will be speaking with Lorena Gordon, Katie Burton, and Tricia Brooks, the filmmakers behind At Last, which is being showcased at the 2020 HollyShorts Film Festival. At Last is about a timid high school girl who reveals her truth during the most important night of the year. Without any further delay, let's jump into the podcast. Hi there, book nerds. Welcome to today's episode of the podcast. Joining us today, we have the filmmakers of At Last. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you. This is
Thanks
great.
for having us.
Thank you guys. It's exciting.
Now, starting with Lorena, can you each introduce yourselves and your role in the film?
Sure. My name is Lorena Gordon. I am the writer, director, and producer of At Last.
I'm Katie Burton, and I play Lauren in At Last.
Hi, I'm Tricia Brooks, and I play Sam in At Last.
I love that. And I don't know which one of you wants to maybe tell us a little bit about the film.
Sure. This is a short film I wrote, about what I wish my high school prom experience would have been like. I hadn't seen anything like this before in film, and I wanted to tap into, just being a teenager and what that's like, and when you're questioning your sexuality and curious, and, ultimately, just the story of a girl who musters up the courage to come out on prom night with the support of her best friend and her family, and getting the chance to go up to her crush and just ask her out to dance.
I love that. It was a lovely film. You guys did amazing. I absolutely enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And I do want to ask each of you, what does the film mean to you? So we can start with Katie.
Sure. Many things. This was my first lead role. So as an actor, it was my first big challenge. And not only that, just the character alone, her and her story is just so fragile. And I knew how much this story meant to Lorena, and I knew that this film can really help people. So I was excited to be a part of it. I absolutely loved her story, and I think it needed to be told. And I was just honored that I was the one to be able to do that for her.
And what about you, Tricia?
I love this story so much because I have so many friends who struggled with this, really, really struggled with this, coming out and telling their family and being afraid of, are they going to be accepted? Are they not? And I just think this is a little piece of hope. I really believe it's just a total inspirational story and a piece of hope and happiness for younger generation who really don't know how to do things or how to come out or what's really happening with all their emotions. I really feel like it's going to be a bit of relief and give some love and some hope and some happiness to an entire niche that maybe they don't know anyone else who's come out. Maybe, they're in a small town and they've never seen these characters portrayed quite like this on screen. And I just think those are the people that really are going to love this film along with everybody, but they're going to need this film and it's going to be an inspiration to them. So I think that's one of the reasons why I love it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lorena, for, dipping into this and providing that representation that many people may need. And I know you talked about how it's based on your personal experience. Would you like to dip into that a little bit more?
Sure. I mean, I guess, it comes from just a place of that's not autobiographical in any means. I wish my prom was as amazing as that. And for me, it's more of just being comfortable in my own skin as an artist to tap into, you know, something that's so important to me as representation and seeing more of our LGBTQ stories being told, because I feel like there's a need for them and a yearn for them. And like Tricia said, you know, the ultimate just gift is having someone who is in the middle of the country who watches this and lets them know that they're not alone. I think that is the core reason why we made this film, was to spark just inspiration and you know, have it be a sense of hope for people. And you know, you don't necessarily have to be part of the LGBTQ community to resonate with the film in any means. You know, this is for just anyone who, you know, everyone has that thing that, you know, we're afraid of and you know, just make these big expectations and we're fearful of, but just living your truth, whatever that truth is for anyone, it's different, you know, per individual. So it's just about, you know, ultimately living your truth. You know, life's so short and we might as well just, you know, live in the truth.
No, definitely. And at the end of the day, the film is also an amazing coming of age film. So as you were saying, you don't have to be a part of the LGBT community. At the end of the day, it's still a great film about a teenager, you know, finding out who she is and, you know, being comfortable with that and getting the courage to let her family know, you know, this is who I am and, you know, take it or leave it. But yeah, you guys did such an incredible job with the film. And do you have any favorite moments in the film? Is there, do you have a favorite scene or anything? We can start with, I don't even know, whoever wants to jump in.
Oh man. Oh gosh. It's so cliche to say this, but like every scene was so great. The ending is beautiful. I love that moment with her and Lauren and James, just like that heart-to-heart conversation. And yeah, that was great. The prom scene was fun. It was all great. I don't know.
I love the scene when Katie is telling her dad, who's played by George Lopez. And George is just amazing, like, and Katie is as well. And both, that scene is just so powerful, I think. And it just seeing George's expression on his face and the way that he was taking in the information, I don't know, it's just really moving to me. Like it's just a great, beautiful scene. I love that one. And then, yeah, how about you, Lorena?
For me, definitely the rooftop scene. I remember the first time we shot it, that was the first day of shooting. We shot that first. And I remember we started off in a wide of like downtown LA in the backdrop. And here's Katie and Zach like on the rooftop. And I remember like the first take, I like ran up to you guys and I was bawling. I was crying. And it was just so emotional to have finally come to this point of us being here and filming. And then also, you know, hearing these words come out of an actor, you know, that you've written, and you can only just like envision how magical that's going to be. But then you experience it and it's just, I got the chills. It was like, it was just incredible. Like, do you remember that? They came up and like hugged you guys.
Yeah, I have something to say after that. I do remember that. And for me, that moment, it was just so beautiful because it was just like solidifying that bond and trust with like me and Lorena. And, you know, it kind of carried how the rest of the filming went for me. Like I felt that. And it was a beautiful moment. Yeah. And I will always remember that.
Yeah. So definitely that. And like Katie said, every scene, you know, it had its little story, but
yeah,
I also love just that scene between you, Sam and Lauren, you know, at the prom, because we all been there, you know, with our crush, and like just those conversations are
The nerves.
always memorable. Yeah, all the nerves and stuff. Yeah, so it's cute. I love it.
Oh, definitely. I felt them like just sitting here. I was like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen next? Like, you could feel it. You guys did such a great job. And I mean, as Tricia was saying, that scene with George and Katie, it was just so powerful. Like, I was getting moved to tears just because like his performance was so comforting and powerful. And Katie, you know, she's over here spilling out her heart. It was just I think that's one of the highlight of the film for me, that performance right there. And
thank you so much.
What was it like working with George? I mean, we all grew up with them, right?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, it's crazy because I actually met George about 10 years ago, 10, 11 years ago, while he was filming something else. So just kind of a bystander on the street, like, hey, George, like, I'm a fan. And then not knowing 10 years later, I would play his daughter. But it was great because, I mean, you know, George Lopez as a comedian, and he has this little flares with George in the film, but at the very end, it's just drama, and it's something that you don't really usually see from him. So it was beautiful to see that side of him. And while filming, it was kind of hard too, because for my end, I wasn't talking to him or to anyone. I was basically reading off with Lorena off camera. But for his side of filming, I was there in the room. So that was even hard for me. And I tried not to cry because, I mean, I had to we had to get his take, but I was like, oh my gosh, I wanted to fall, because just seeing his reaction, just being in that room with him, it was pretty incredible.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it was exciting because this is someone who, you know, I've only just imagined. I was like, oh my God, it would be amazing to get George to play the dad, you know, and let alone all these, you know, serendipitous things would happen, and the day would come where he was on set with us. And I think it was exciting for him too, I'm sure. And, you know, to play a role like this, because it's something no one has seen before. But he has genuinely such a just huge heart, and you know, he was just incredible to be around with, and to get to talk to him and give a little backstory about you know, the film and his role. He just took that to heart. And he, you know, everyone so far who've seen the movie is like, oh my God, I wish he was my dad. I wish he was my dad. You know, so it's been incredible, and just super grateful. And yeah, honestly, a dream come true. Everyone, it's been a dream come true to have every single.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Person. I feel like he's some kind of magic. You know, he's just so lovely.
He's so lovely. Yeah.
He really is.
You guys had a great team, and I mean, George's performance, you know, as a dad reminded me of my dad. So I think that's what like helped me like get more comfortable like with his role as a dad. I don't know. I mean, he was a dad in his show. I'm gonna stop talking.
No. And
I'm just ranting now.
And yeah, no, like Katie said, it was incredible because he was, you know, Katie was reading the lines off screen, and he just, you could see it. And I remember just being, you know, I'm usually either like watching the monitor, but I'm super close to the actors, and I just remember seeing these performances. I was like, oh my God. I just remember being like, I cannot wait to get to the edit room, because he was just giving all these just nuances by every take, you know, and, you know, people are like, how was it directing George? And honestly, he you know, just having one conversation with him, and he got it, and he was able to deliver, you know, what you saw. But it was incredible to witness up front.
No, definitely. Like, I mean, you guys, I keep saying this, but your team was absolutely amazing. And did you have any? Yes, and very lucky.
Very lucky.
Did you have any favorite moments on set, like maybe when you weren't filming, or like anything funny happen at the prom?
I have
You
one.
know,
I have one. I remember
Okay.
this. So this is the last day of filming, and this is the scene of we're in the car, we're leaving, and I'm kind of stalling, and
I think
Lorena knows where this is going. Okay, so Lorena is itty bitty, and that car that I have is tiny, and no one told me that she was going to be in the back seat. So here we're doing the take, and trying to be all serious, and then all of a sudden she speaks to give direction to Zach to give him the bag, and I was like, what the heck? I was like, I wasn't sure if there was like a microphone in there. And then afterwards I was like, you just scared the crap out of me. But like, I wanted to scream, but I had to keep my composure and just stay in the scene. But I'll never forget that. That was great.
Did you try to scare her, Lorena, or was it just like completely unintentional?
No, not at all. I was just trying to like be in the car because we didn't have like any like comms where you could like hear, the audio and stuff like that. So I was like, I have to be in the car so I can hear what's happening. And I was like, well, I'm small enough and tiny enough to fit in the back.
Were you just on the floor of the car? How did that work?
It's uncomfortable, but I managed to.
Yeah, her and the monitor. She had like a little monitor too. I was like, how are you back there?
Yeah, Trish, anything? Any stories?
Yeah, so I have two actually. One of them is we had rehearsals before, and I'll never forget it. But all three of us just danced, and it was just like such a beautiful, like we partner danced, this is before COVID and everything, everybody. It was just such a fun bonding time. So we really, like, you don't get that a lot with teams before you do films, you don't really get to rehearse and become really close with your cast often. And so for me, it was so fun, and we got to know Zach really well, and I just loved it. And then my other real highlight moment is just learning from the DP, who has done all different amazing things. I mean, this guy is phenomenal. And he just was like, I asked him a couple questions, and he was so sweet. And he was just describing everything to me. And I was like, this is so cool, because I'm very fascinated in film as well. So that was just incredible. Like overall, the energy of the cast and crew were so symbiotic and so loving. It was just a true energy of love is what I felt on set. Everyone was really hardworking, did their job, but we also were very encouraging of one another. And I love that.
Yeah, I'm going to have to echo that and say that, yeah, it was definitely, even before we set a foot on set, it was that bond that we had, built already, like a foundation. But yeah, those, and we were so lucky because, you sometimes, if you're lucky enough, you get rehearsals, but, it was so important. And I forgot to share this with the girls, but someone just messaged me, and they were like, I love how believable the friendships are and the relationships are in the film. And I was like, that's incredible. It's such a huge compliment, because, there was work behind that. There was a lot of bonding that we did, and to try to convey that. And we were just so fortunate that everyone was up for it, and we got to at least get, I think, a handful of rehearsals, and then like 2 with Zach. So it was a testament to the dedication and hard work of Trish, Katie, Zach, and everyone involved. So super, super appreciative and grateful. But yeah, to me, every moment that we were rolling was magical, because like I said, when I was 16, or was it 18 when you're like a senior? 18? 17? Okay.
Yeah.
If someone, were to tell me, you're going to make a film about this and it's all going to make sense, 10 years down the line, I would have been like, no way. So it's been just surreal and unreal to be here today with you guys and speaking about our film at last.
It's a full circle moment, and honestly, I agree. The relationships translated so well. They're flawless. Like I felt like I was just kind of like dipping into their lives for a quick moment and then dipping back out. Um,
Oh, I love
and
that.
Zach did incredible. What was it like working with Zach, and how did you find him? Like, how did that process? Because he's a talent that I need to keep an eye on. Like, he's definitely going to be in more things, and he's just going to do amazing. And I'm excited for him.
Yeah, I know he's a superstar, that guy. And he had been doing like the press junket for Peanut Butter Falcon. And I remember just being like, oh my gosh, it would be a dream to have him be James, because I had, written the role with an actor with Down syndrome. So I was like, oh my God, it would be amazing. And just a simple email of sending the script and a phone call the next day with his mother, would make that happen. And, they were just excited for this role as a, supporting key figure in the film, because ultimately he is the reason why, she finally musters up the courage and, has that little, I don't want to give too much away, but he's kind of in the catalyst for Lauren to have this incredible, memorable prom. So I think it was exciting for him to just, follow up Peanut Butter Falcon with something like this. And yeah, it was just incredible. And he's super talented and so passionate, and a dancer, and just the energy he exudes is just amazing.
Oh, definitely.
He's the best.
He was the best wingman, honestly.
Yeah. Everyone needs a best friend like Zach or
For
James.
Yeah. He's just the best. So sweet.
No, he really is.
Yeah.
So did you guys run into any difficulties while filming? Like maybe in the bathroom? Like I know it can get pretty tiny in there, and was it a little cramped in there for you, Katie?
Kind of, not really. I mean, yeah, that's movie magic though. you take off the door and it kind of opens up. But no, it was fine. That scene was actually, that was probably one of like my favorite scenes too, because that was the moment where I really got to see Dean Cundy, our DP, really work, and he like hear all his ideas was just incredible. And that moment was one of the moments that hit me. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm working with Dean Cundy. What the heck? So yeah. Lorena, do you have any?
I would say, the rooftop and the school where we have the dance were locations that we had finally locked, like maybe 72 hours before we started filming, because we had lost the previous locations. So yeah, it was stressful, but when you watch the film, it's like all worth it, because I can't imagine filming anywhere else. I think, just locations are so crucial and add like a characteristic to the film. And I'm very proud of the locations we managed to have in the film, including the house and that car and everything. I think every little detail matters. And I was just so lucky that, it was able to be realized.
And for you, Tricia, did you feel any difficulties during the filming process?
No, I have to say it was such smooth sailing for me because everyone was so lovely to work with. I do remember Lorena saying that they had location difficulties, but honestly, it was so incredible. Like, I love Harry Potter. I know this is kind of silly, But the school in which we filmed at, the room that we were staying in is green room, was all Harry Potter themed, and they had all these quotes.
Oh, that's right.
I feel like this is meant to be. We're supposed to be here, you know? So yeah, I just felt like it was lovely, and you know, I was just so grateful to be a part of the whole process, to be honest.
I just remember it was cold in the rooftop. I mean, it's kind of a joke, but
that was difficult.
I had a diva fake faux fur coat on the whole time.
I was going to ask. I was like wondering, were they cold at any point on the field or on the rooftop?
Oh yeah, sorry. The field, we were freezing as well. But it's funny, after you film it, you don't even you don't think about it anymore. It was just in the moment. We were like purple in hands, but we're like, for the film. Got this.
Yeah. They were such troopers.
No, definitely. I'm a big baby when it comes to the cold. Like right now, I'm in LA as well. And the cold, it's just like, that's it. I need my blanket. Like, I'm such a wimp when it comes to the cold.
I'm from here, so me too. So like, if it's like 56 degrees, I'm like, I need a parka.
Yeah, I have my hoodie on. I was like, I cannot.
Totally.
Yeah.
For the locations, can we disclose what high school you filmed at, so anyone listening can get bragging rights in case it was their high school?
Sure. Immaculate Heart High School.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to them.
Shout out.
I guess Hollywood, right? Technically.
Yeah, it's in Hollywood. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Franklin Village area though, right? Right there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who stood you guys up so we can keep an eye on this? No, I'm just kidding. We don't have to. Stay away from them. No, I'm just kidding. Now, the film does take place in the 2000s. What was your favorite part about dipping back into that time period?
The iPod.
I'm so glad I saved that iPod. I was like, this might come in handy.
That was like iconic. I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen one of these in forever.
My fave was the flip phone. So many people have told me like, oh my God, she has a flip phone. Like everyone who's watched it, as they're watching it, they're like, she has a flip phone.
Yeah. So that was your iPod, Lorena?
Yeah.
Was it also your phone, or where did the phone come from?
No, the phone came from one of our co-producers, Bud. We were like, we need a flip phone. He's like, I might have something, you know, because all these things we don't realize, like as time passes, they become so valuable. Like you never know when you're going to need like a first generation iPod or a flip phone. But yeah, again, those are little details that we're like, they're so important. So, you know, we need to find them. But to me, I think it was just, again, I was class of 09, like my graduating high school class. So I think it was just fun to kind of give an homage of like, I'm reliving my prom, but like with this incredible cast, and this is
Hollywood style.
Prom. Yeah, exactly. With Dean Cundy photographing every frame. And, you know, so I think it was just nice to also, because as I was, you know, coming up with the soundtrack for the film, it was nice to like go back to like, you know, 2000s. The music.
I constantly find myself going back to 2000s music just because it provides that comfort, you know? It's just like a warm hug listening to it.
Yeah.
What is your favorite song from the 2000s?
Oh gosh.
Or one of your favorites? Just one of the ones that really stands out to you from that time.
I Want It That Way. Hello.
Yeah.
Actually, boys. That's the first thing that came in my head.
There's so many. That's such a hard question.
I know. I honestly, I was just like, it
Britney
might be a little hard, but it's really interesting.
Baby, one more time. Come on. Oops, I did it again. I was like, that's what it's called.
Bye, bye, bye.
Oh, she's in sync fan.
Yeah. Oh no, we started a rivalry today. No. Oh no.
No, Lance Bass was my forever like dream crush.
He's so
that's
nice.
cool. You met
Nice
him though,
too.
didn't you?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I was like, you were my dream crush. And he's like,
Aw.
oh, I'm flattered. I was like, yeah. Later, with that foreshadow, a big revelation to me, but yeah.
Aw.
And you, Tricia, or an artist? I know you're having any trouble with the songs.
Yeah, so bad because now I'm thinking like all my favorite stuff is more like from 1990s, early. But no, I was a total NSYNC girl, total.
Yes.
I was an NSYNC girl, but now when I get older, oh man, I really like the Backstreet
both are
Boys.
great.
They've got some,
Right?
But of course I was in Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears, all those things. So
Yeah.
The pop girls, gotta love them.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Later on, Kesha. That's later on.
Kesha, amazing. Amazing.
Totally.
So I want to go back to the iPod. Do you guys remember what you guys had like on your playlist, like any artists on your playlist on your iPods?
Oh, Avril Lavigne.
Oh,
man.
Sure.
Yeah.
Queen.
Yes. Yeah. No, that was like,
Complicated was my song. I love
Oh,
that
man.
song.
I so wanted, yeah, I had like the tie and the wife beater. I thought it was cool for like a second. Yeah.
You know what I miss? I miss the Brick Breaker. Like, was it Brick Breaker? Or the games that came on the iPod?
Oh,
like the
wait, was it like the
yes.
snake?
Yeah, the snake.
Yeah, yeah.
Brick Breaker was a BlackBerry. But yeah. Yeah, those games. Those are so fun. I remember that.
We need to bring the apps back. Make an app.
Yeah.
I can't think of what was on my iPod.
I played like swing da na 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 na.
Oh, the
like, a lot
American
of, like,
Rejects.
yeah. I played that all the time, and I was like, yeah.
I think we all went through this, or like for me, like I went through like my pop phase, right? And then I was like, my brother's a musician, and he got me into like, like pop punk and like rock. And then I thought I was like super cool because I was listening to like all these like bands and stuff. And then you went through like a hip hop phase, so it kind of like varies. I love music, so I'm very happy. Like if you go through my like music collection, there's everything, like every genre, even country. So
Yes.
yeah.
I respect it. I got into country because of Taylor Swift, so there we go.
Yeah.
So what was it like building the soundtrack for the film, Lorena? Did you have like a lot of fun with it? Did you kind of throw in one of your favorites, or just something that reminded the audience of that time specifically?
So I had created like a small little playlist when I was writing the film. So each of those songs that you hear, I was listening to while writing. So I was so happy that I got to incorporate them into the film. So that opening track that you hear, and it's also like the ending track of the film, like that was the one that was on rewind constantly. I think it's such a beautiful song, and you just feel like empowered, and yeah. So that was by AW. And then the Knowin' the Whale song, I remember hearing that song, and it was when Pandora, I don't know if people still use the Pandora radio station, because I know like everyone has like Spotify or iTunes now. But I remember that coming on, and I was like, oh my God, who is this artist? And I need to like, I just kept listening to that song. To me, it was one of those things. So this is kind of like, I guess, so when I'm listening to music, I kind of see like colors and all of that. So when I was coming up also with like the color palette for the film, listening to the music, it was like reaffirming of like, okay, it's going to be like a pastel, with a little bit of teal, with all of that. I know, super weird, but so that's why those songs also fit so perfectly in my eyes to the film. And of course, we had to have the classic At Last. And no, I did not name the film At Last because of that song. It was, you know, to me, when I was thinking, I was like, I need to have like a powerful, or just like a title that kind of encapsulates that night and this character's journey. And I was like, at last, she like came into her own. Again, I don't want to reel too much, but it just felt like the most appropriate, you know, 2 words to title the film.
No, definitely. I have the bad habit of not really looking at synopsises before I watch something. So I was just like, at last, play. And then like once I finished it, I was like, that makes a lot more sense now. So it becomes a perfect title, honestly.
Thank you.
And the dresses, where did you find the dresses? I think we need to acknowledge them really quick.
Oh, definitely. So we had an amazing costume designer, Caroline, and I kind of gave her references as to, you know, at first I remember one of our first ideas was like creating this like a quinceañera dress, like something super like outrageous and out there, you know, and then we kind of X'd that idea out, and then, you know, going back to the color palette that we were trying to convey here, and then just she like drew up this like teal dress, and I was like, oh my god, that's it. You know, it's something simple, but yet something that, you know, when you see her, you see how uncomfortable she is, you know, in it, even though it's a beautiful dress. And then Sam, yeah, we were just trying to think of like colors to complement each other. And I felt like Sam's, what would you call that? Like a
blush pink.
A blush pink?
Yeah.
Yeah.
About, yeah.
Yeah, it was like perfect. And, you know, with
Their
those
Converse.
you know,
Yeah.
that's Sam, because she's super cool.
Cool girl.
Yeah.
At least Tricia was very comfortable during filming. She didn't have to deal with heels. She was comfy in her Converse.
That's right. Yeah.
But yeah, it was our costume designer, Caroline.
And my dress was handmade too. I don't know if you mentioned that, but it was handmade. So I was like, props to Caroline. Yeah, she killed it.
Yeah, that's amazing. I feel like it encapsulated the times as well. It was just like, that's the first thing that I was like, wait, this is not modern. Like, this is not set in the modern times.
Yeah.
I was like, hold on.
I remember those dresses.
But the suit though, that was fun for me. I loved the suit.
Was that your first time ever wearing a suit?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. It was so comfortable. I was like, we can do this more often. Ladies, wear the suits if you want it.
Yeah.
Power suits are the move.
Yes.
Yes. Absolutely. I felt empowered. I was like, hell yeah, I feel like a badass in this.
I love it. I love how they're so symbolic too. Like, you know, so symbolic, the suit, and then also the dress with Converse. It's like being very comfortable in your own skin and not needing, you know, I just love it.
Definitely. No, I remember because I like wore high heels for my prom and a dress. Like I had the whole getup, and I remember getting stepped on that night by someone with like super like the platformy high heels, and I was like, oh yeah. And I was like, man, I wish I could just wear a suit and like put on some chucks and just be so comfortable. So then when I was, you know, thinking of Sam, I was like, Sam would be that badass who like doesn't conform to anything, and she's like, I'm gonna do it because I want to do it, and that's it. So yeah, Sam is that like confident person that I feel like, you know, we all kind of want to be in a way.
No, definitely. I was just like, look at her go. Look at her go. And do you have any advice for aspiring filmmakers or actors? I don't know who has something in mind at first? I don't want to put pressure.
It's a tough industry. You know, it takes a lot of work and hard work. You just got to keep doing it. You know, as an actor, I fully believe there's a role out there for everyone. You just got to stick with it and do what you got to do to, you know, study. But also it's who you meet in the industry. Just be nice. And this just goes out to everyone. Just be nice to everyone. You know, you never know who you're going to come across.
Yeah.
But yeah, just keep at it.
Trish?
Yeah, so I'm just gonna second that and also say, like, just keep creating, even if there isn't a role that, like, even if you're not getting auditions from other people, you know, there's so many platforms for us to express ourselves in this moment. Like, you create the role that's for you. Maybe people don't even know that you exist, but you need to create that role for you. And I think while you're doing that, you'll meet all these other people along the journey and you'll be a part of other projects. And it's very inconsistent. I always tell people, like, you know, you have to want to do this 200% because it's a very, like she just said, it's a very interesting industry. It's a bit different than most other things, right?
It breaks you.
Yeah, it can. It's all about, I believe it's all about mindset, energy, and really working on your own personal craft and your art. So keep going, keep doing it. You know, there are roles for everybody, I think, and sometimes you have to be the one to create it. Yeah, that's kind of like my 2 cents, I think.
Yeah. I would say, yeah, your heart has to be in it because it is so hard. And that is what separates the people who make it from the people who don't make it. It's those people that are like holding on for dear life and just, you know, eat, breathe, sleep, you know, film. This film alone is a testament that you can't give up. You know, there are many, many cases where this film almost, you know, wasn't made, but, you know, I knew we had, you know, a responsibility to tell the story and, you know, and we were going to fight till the end to make it happen. So yeah, I would definitely echo your heart has to be in like 200%, or, you know, you won't be able to survive because it does break you. You do get so many no's, doors slammed in your face. And it's just, you know, who is going to make it? Who's going to pull, you know, who's going to surpass that noise and keep going their path? You know, you have like tunnel vision and get to the past the finish line.
No, definitely. Like, I'm a film student myself, and my professors are always telling us, like, you need to be here because you have to be here. Like, you can't be here just to be here. You need to be doing this. Like, you have to be 100%. Like, you can't, I can't, like, I'm already stumbling on my words, but he's always just told us, like, you need to make sure this is the only thing you want to do, and it's what you were made for. And I think you all 3 of you said that perfectly right now. So thank you for your advice. And I hope anyone listening is able to, you know, really accept it and take it with them. And where can we follow you on social media so we can continue to get great advice from you guys?
Thanks.
Thank you. You can follow the film on Instagram. It's at last short film, and that's where we're posting kind of, you know, where you can watch the film via festivals, and we also, you know, throw in some behind the scenes photos and stuff. And then my own personal Instagram is at Lorena Gordon.
My Instagram and Twitter, although I don't really use Twitter anymore, but everything it's Katie Burton.
Yeah, and mine's on Instagram, Tricia C. Brooks. So it's all our names.
Perfect. Honestly, that's honestly super easy. Like, it's easy for us to remember and it's easy to find you. And it's just where it is. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me today. I wish we had more time to talk. You were amazing, and I hope everyone gets a chance to see the film. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you.
This was so much fun. Thank you for just the questions. I think the questions were really,
and the reminiscing
spot on.
of filming.
yeah.
You just took us back to.
You took us time. You
Thank
definitely
you.
brought us back.
I try my best not to ask like something you probably get asked a lot. So it's just like I want to give them a break, you know?
Yeah.
No, it was fun. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I had so much fun talking to Lorena, Katie, and Tricia, and I hope you enjoyed going back to the 2000s with us. Make sure to follow the At Last Instagram page to stay updated on where you can watch the short film next. That's all for now, and thank you for listening in.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lorena Gordon, the writer-director of At Last.
Hi, everybody. My name is Tricia Brooks, and I play Sam.
Hey guys, I'm Katie Burton, and I play Lauren, and you're listening to JeanBookNerd.com.